All right, welcome back everyone to JFace Games. Today we're talking about social roleplay. And social roleplay, we were talking about this on the Discord channel in terms of how do we want this to work. And there's the original way this is working, and now this is the other way this could potentially work. So the original way this was working is that if you're unfamiliar with this RPG system, or if you're unfamiliar with this channel, I am building an RPG system. I think the name's called the Pressure System. I'm using this channel to look at different systems and games and RPGs out there and borrow ideas, be inspired by them, and then tweak it and add it to our game. And so the game has this attribute list. On your character, you have the following attributes: leader, controller, striker, marksman, defender, and mystic. If you're familiar with 4th edition D&D, these are sort of the same as the roles for the most part. Well, these are kind of very action-oriented, and they're very combat-oriented, right? Every one of these attributes is going to be associated with a dice. That dice is going to be somewhere between a D4 and a D10, maybe a D12 if you get some cool abilities. And so you're going to be rolling that dice against a pressure die. The pressure die is, in essence, the DC, and you're trying to get higher than it, or higher or even. Now, you also have this thing called the hero die, and the hero die actually... You know what? Actually, someone online gave it a different, or someone in the Discord channel gave it a different name, and I don't remember what it was now, but it was better. And so it's not going to be the hero die. It's going to be, what is it? It was going to be the hero die, and now I don't remember what it was, but it was good. I liked it. I think it was Insomniac that said it. He's getting Insomniac's getting a lot of publicity in this video because they had another good idea that we're talking about. But I can't remember what it does. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, anyways, I'll go back to the Discord channel. The hero die, in essence, is your tier of play. And it's either a D6, a D8, or a D10. And in essence, whenever you're making a check, you're using your hero die, unless it's specific to one of these attributes, right? So it's if I've got to hide, if I've got to stealth, if I've got to intimidate someone, I would rely on my hero die. Now, that sounds boring, but there are skills and feats that would give you different access to different dies that are very specific to different scenarios, right? I think I took some inspiration from Easy D6 for this because they had these character building attributes that were like, oh, you're, sneaky, so you get this, right? So fast talking, I just threw these up there as random examples. These aren't baked into the game yet. Fast talking, you get to use a D8, base if you're in a high pressure situation, you're talking to people, right? If there's distractions around or something. Acrobatics, if you're doing something acrobatic, you get a plus D8 advantage. So now you'd be rolling your D6 plus a D8 and taking advantage if you're doing something acrobatic. And if you're fast talking someone, you can roll a D8 instead of the D6 against the pressure die, right? So this was the original skill system, which would therefore incorporate roleplay and incorporate athletics checks and things of that nature that weren't specific to this sort of like combat-oriented sort of approach. Well, then the question came up, well, could you use these technically for social interactions? And could these be your attributes across the board? And the answer from people on the Discord channel was yes. Now, I still think, I think that the names of them are very definitive of they feel action-oriented combat-wise, but I agree. Here are the things that came up. And this came up from the group. I think that Insomniac just listed it out, so I was able to copy and paste it. But the group in general was discussing this. And so you can see here the defender die could technically be if you're trying to defend an idea or debate, right? Leader die if you're trying to be speaking with authority. Controller die being sneaky and how you're trying to manipulate the situation, probably lying, those things. Marksman, quick quips. Striker, intimidating, and then Mystic die, this sort of out-of-the-box stuff. So, yes, it could be used. And I thought that was really interesting. And I thought that it was also interesting that people just talked about having consequences for the use of different dice. Meaning, if you were using your leadership die to push around a situation or a social interaction, there are repercussions. There was then intentionality behind that. Now the people were expecting you to help lead that situation, right? So if there's a mob of people and there's goblins coming and you try to inspire them to defend the walls. If you don't end up helping them defend those walls because you've acted as their quote unquote leader, then now there's social implications from that. There's potential story implications and slide down the line. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was a cool concept, right? So I'd love to hear now what you guys think in the YouTube world. And hopefully you guys start to join the Discord channel so we can have these conversations dynamically in real time. But, I'd love to pull these ideas out to get to get an understanding of where everyone is. And maybe these names, Defender, Leader, Controller, maybe they alter a little bit. Not a ton. I still like them in terms of what they are in terms of combat, but maybe it's leadership, instead of lead or die. I don't know if that matters. And so we might be able to talk about that as well. So let me know what you think. Leave comments down below. Join the Discord channel. Hit the like button. Hit the bell. Subscribe. All that stuff. All right. Talk to you guys soon.